Right, so this is going to be my breakdown of the script and what sort of things I'm going to be changing around. Well, not necessarily changing around, but how I'm going to implement it to my ideas and my works and stuff. So, just a breakdown of the script and some ideas. So, this is a journey through written by a UCA television production. Right, so we've got interior of the home day. So, we're going to start off in the student accommodation in some small flat, if you like. We're going to see a close up on a timepiece. So I'm going to go for the watch. I'm definitely going to go for the watch. So we're going to do probably a tracking shot, just slightly leaning in is on the watch, and try what I want to do for this whole first part. Say for this first page until he's fully dressed. I don't even want the camera to pay attention to his face whatsoever. So it kind of gives the impression of the guy is... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I forgot the word I was looking for. That the guy is worthless, essentially. That's the impression I want to give off. So we've got our character wakes from a deep sleep and stretches their hands to the stars. I'm pretty fixed on that I can achieve this look without focusing on the face. So he's looked at his watch. We've got a close-up of the timepiece. He gets up. Obviously, this guy's a heroin addict, so maybe we'll have some needles and some, I don't know, drug paraphernalia like spoons and, dirty rags and stuff like that, and maybe some alcohol where he just gets out of bed and they all fall out onto the floor, something like that. So the character sits up and rubs his eyes, brushing their face clear of the nighttime preparation for the day ahead. So they get up from their bed, stretch out even further. So this is where I would probably pan to his feet, and then just do a tracking shot, just do him getting a shot of his body getting out of the bed, and then to his feet, and then a quick pan maybe to a phone going off. So the sound of a telephone ringing, and that brings sharp attention to the character. So maybe like the back of his head turning and panning as well to face the phone, and that's where he picks up the phone, does his small dialogue. I want him to sound quite Asperger's like. This is all my character development. I want him to sound like quite Asperger's like and quite lonely in a sense, but I kind of want to give you the impression that it's only a recent type of loneliness, but I'll get into that a bit later. So he hangs up the phone, quickly changes tone, clearly reacting to some unheard request. They move around their space, getting dressed. So maybe when he says bye, say if it's like an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy or something, he ends the call and maybe he's got a picture of him and a girl. So then you can get the impression that maybe he split up from a recent loved one, and his life's kind of skyrocket. It kind of just plummeted, and that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking of doing, was when he ends the call, the wallpaper comes up, and then it's just him and a loved one, or an ex-girlfriend or something, but he's still quite attached. So he reacts. He gets dressed. The character is checking their appearance in a mirror. So maybe like, again, working in the phone aspect, he presses the front camera on his phone and kind of just looks at himself, kind of a self-reflection of himself, just kind of studying himself, looking at what he's become, but not really caring. So this is where he kind of gets up, he kind of gets up and then goes and washes his face. There's not really much I can add to that. Then that is he goes up, he goes to the sink and he washes his face. So then he leaves his home, and he kind of puts his jacket collar up, and he's walking, and he hugs in tight to himself, looking in all directions. So he's quite paranoid in a sense. Obviously that links to drug use a lot. So head off in a sense with a sense of purpose, reflecting their mood. The environment coming into a sharp view as it also reflects the mood of the day. So quite a miserable day. But he's obviously heading off, knowing where he wants to go. So obviously that links in with the call he's had. So unspecified location. This is going to be kind of like a back behind a bunch of houses in a sense. So the cold air bites across. So the cold air bites across the place of a character travels onwards. Their eyes taking in the surroundings. So he's kind of just looking around. Could be like he kind of could be a bit suspicious. Maybe he's going some. I want the audience to believe maybe he's going somewhere a bit suspicious, and he's kind of minding himself. So across the way from the character, another person strides forwards, not paying any attention in this direction. The character flicks to him, pauses silently, and then continues onwards. Maybe, well, this is, say Mark is going to be the main character. The main character I'm going to be calling John. He's kind of walking. He's walking towards his set location, wherever that may be, towards this block, behind this block of houses. And maybe he sees a female, and obviously that gives him a few reminders, in a sense. But obviously you won't see that on screen. That's kind of like subtle storytelling, in a sense. So around then, the location spreads in all directions. So now he's going to be moving through a tighter location. Their energy and posture says he's unfamiliar. Character pulling up and abruptly turning around. So now he's getting the feeling that he's lost. So what I was thinking of doing was just completely throwing him into a different area. Maybe just completely... he completely loses consciousness, in a sense. You know, I know that some heroin addicts go the whole cold turkey thing when they haven't had their fix. They start going a bit loopy, in a sense, and they start completely hallucinating. I was thinking of taking him to a completely different area in his hallucinogenic mind, and then you've got all of this. This is all of that. All of this scene will be that, where he kind of just loses his mind. He's looking at his watch. He's like quite panicking. He doesn't know where he is. So the character moves into sharp view. They've clearly been travelling for some time as their body pulls itself slow to a halt. See their breath taking in the cold air, slowly enveloping him. Their eyes hold tight at a distance. They take out a mobile phone and punch in a number. So then he's kind of back to reality. I'd say maybe all of this, just this bit here, is his like blackout, his mini blackout, in a sense, and then we're kind of getting back into reality. And then he rings this person again. Hello, it's me. I'm here. Where are you? Oh, okay, see you. So in the distance, there's our introduction of our drug dealer. We see the feet of a new character as they travel forwards. Their location and identities slightly obscured. So maybe we're going to get the back of him, like him walking towards our main character, but you don't quite see his face. Character fiddles with a thread on their coat and steps around looking on one another. So he's kind of looking around, making sure nobody else is there. Obviously, at this point, you kind of know why he's there. It's going to be pretty obvious. Undefined sound alerts them and they swing round sharply. Maybe a sound of a dog or a cat or something like that. Or maybe even a bag brushing by. So their eyes squint, they try to focus and then relax, recognition peeling across their face. A couple of steps forward, the character waiting to greet the new character, who appears into view this way. Character makes a little gesture across them. This is clearly something they know. So at this point, he's kind of got this really scrunched up money in his hand. That's what I'm going to have. The first character, the new character, which is our unnamed drug dealer, returns the gesture and comes even closer. Character holds steady, eyes pick out something. The new character's carrying an undefined package, so we're going to have a really small bag of dope heroin. Obviously, it's not going to be dope heroin. It's going to be like probably chocolate milkshake or something, but you're going to get the idea. So he's going to go, sorry, I'm late. The character, again, we're working in this loneliness theme and the fact that his life has come to some sort of halt, in a sense. So he's going to be quite blunt, like, it's okay, I was early. New character arrives at the feet of the character and they exchange a greeting. And then a new character is trying to work up a conversation, maybe trying to build a stronger relationship with this guy, because obviously if he's giving him something illegal, you want to be a bit more trusting. So he's kind of trying to build a small relationship with this guy. He's like, oh, cold today, isn't it? You know, making small talk. And then character again, pretty uninterested. Two characters hold up for a moment, and then new character holds out the undefined package. So the new character says, I hope it's right. The character takes the heroin, eyes down to it for a moment, then back to the new character. So he says thanks. He rubs their hands together. So that's where new character and old character, well, sorry, they swap here. The money and the package swap there. So new character looks around and rubs hands together. They think it might snow. Think it will? And then again, returning with that bluntness syndrome. Thanks again. New character acknowledged and turns to walk away. And he says, I think it will. So character slowly watches as new character leaves the way they came, slowly disappearing from sight. A few moments pass, character is fingering, so he's playing around with the package, looking at it, studying it. Maybe I'll do quite a nice close-up of this with a macro before they turn and leave, the sound of their departing filling the location. So maybe a fade out. So now, quick zaps to their home. He's sitting on his bed, he's kind of looking back at his phone. This is this whole scene. He kind of unwraps his heroin. He sorts all of his heroin out, plops a needle in himself, and then what I want him to do is, as he's injecting himself, we're gonna have a multi-angle setup on this. So as he's slowly injecting, we're just gonna have him slowly fading back into blur, and then maybe his arms flop back, so it's kind of just completely out for the count at this point, and then just a close up of the watch just above his head on his hand. So that's before he drifts and returns to the close up, the same close up as before, and then it cuts to black. So that is pretty much the whole script cut down into my ideas and how I want to execute all of them ideas. So pretty straightforward. I'm not making it overcomplicated for myself. I think it's a very straightforward script. It's going to be to me, it's going to be really easy to shoot. I've got really good props for it so far. I've got some fake syringes. I've obviously got some chocolate milkshake for the heroin. I've got a really good set location, and I'll take pictures when I'm actually at that location and upload it to my blog. So thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you in my next blog post.